Okay, welcome back to another Outlast recap episode. We are here to recap episode 3 of Outlast, titled She's a Loose Cannon. So, of course, if you've not yet watched episode 3 or the preceding episodes, 1 and 2 namely, you should go back and watch those before you listen to this. I'm joined, of course, by Jen, as always. Say hello to the people, Jen.
Hello to the people.
If there are any of them actually listening. And we're going to go through episode 3, kind of give a recap, our thoughts on what happens, our breakdown of the moves, and some behind the scenes information, like we always do. Let's start, again, as we always do, with our biggest moments here. Biggest moment. What's your highlight moment of the episode, Jen?
I would say I have two.
You can do two.
Okay, and I'll probably talk about these again, but I was in person really rooting for Green to win.
Yeah.
Underdog moment, or two down. Don't want to see them go to tribal again the third time. And it was really exciting to be there live and watch the challenge. And then also, I just saw for the first time, I guess I saw it in real life maybe, I can't remember, no, I wasn't. I don't think I was there.
You were. Yeah, I don't think you were.
No, I think I was doing dinner. Yeah, so Ty pulling out his idol.
Right. Which, shouldn't bury the lead. Ended up being technically an incorrect idol play, and that he didn't have to play it. He only received 2 votes. But, nonetheless, a big, fun moment.
Right. Well, also, he could have then got it voted for in the revote? Or no, is it just the two that are...
It's just the 2 that were in the primary tie, yeah. So if... Just to recap for everyone, we can talk more about this, obviously, but the result of the vote was 3 votes on Adam, 3 votes on Sky, 2 votes on Ty. So Ty played his idol, blocked those 2 votes. The 3 on Adam and Sky are the actual primary tie. So then on the revote, of course, everybody votes Sky. Sky is eliminated, sent to Last Chance Island. But yeah, Ty blocks those 2 votes. In a really shocking idol play. Nobody had any idea that he had it.
I think I love it too, because it's just, my top moments in previous episodes was Ty being sneaky about the idol.
Yeah,
and
it's a good payoff.
And it's just fun to see, even though technically, he could have saved it for another time. It was still, I feel like there's times in Survivor where you see them play an idol poorly and it's just not as fun.
Yeah.
And this one, just because nobody saw the original clue that there was a idol at camp, and then they didn't see the next one, and or they just had no idea.
I don't think we actually planted the second one, because by then
you're
Ty
right.
had it.
You're right.
But
So it just is a really fun. And I think everyone's reaction is just so good.
It's
and
really
Hannah saying, I had that in my bag for so long. And somebody's saying, how did it get out of your bag? And she's like, I threw it on the ground.
Right.
Or something like that.
Yeah, it was really good. Like, from the moment, I ask if anybody has an idol, and people start laughing because they're like, LOL, nobody has an idol. We're stumped. And then Ty gets up, and people are, stunned. Cody makes a huge shock face. Sky is screaming, which is par for the course for her. But, and then Hannah's pure shock when she realizes it's the green block that, like you said, she's been carrying around for the better part of the game. It's all really fun.
The poorly drawn fish.
Yeah, the poorly drawn fish.
As Adam would say.
Yeah. And, there's so many, tangents we could go on, and I'll take one really quickly, in that the Orange Tribe did all say that they would get tattoos of that fish. And that was even before they knew that the fish was the idol. So I'm really holding them to that. Yeah. And I hope to see fish tattoos soon on the Orange Tribe.
And if you need me to draw it, because I'm the one who drew the poorly drawn fish, I'm happy to be the artist for your tattoos.
Yeah, did we keep all the plank, like all of the things? So we still have the fish somewhere.
I can draw it again.
Gave it to Ty as like a memorabilia or something. Yeah, and you know, I'm the type of person when it comes to idols where my kind of philosophy on idol play is my personal philosophy when watching Survivor or something like Outlast is to be very I think that sitting on idols for the most part is bad form. That the first time that there's an opportunity where it's like either my name's involved or it's a vote that I can impact by playing this, is you should use it. I feel like the more that you sit on it, the less, like waiting for a perfect opportunity to come that may never come, when you've got a good one in front of you to use it. So all that to say, I think that, you know, results aside, Ty playing the idol here was perfectly defensible. He knew his name was involved. He was correct in that he was getting votes. He, you know, used it as an insurance policy in case the plan that, you know, was told to him by Hannah specifically, like, didn't come to fruition, or they were blindsiding him. And so I think tactically, again, results notwithstanding, it was by no means a bad choice for Ty to play the idol in that place.
Yeah, I also think there's an element of how much it heightens you to play with an idol in your bag. I think there's an element potential. I don't know. Like, I guess that's a conversation of like, it's
because nobody knew he had it.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
So he could have continued to hold on to it without like raising suspicion. You know.
Yeah, I do think though, as a fan watching Survivor or seeing them play Survivor, it's like this, like what you're saying, it's this itch to play it at the exact right moment that I think destroys people's games, or it's this like jury
they're holding
moment. Yeah. And so I think it is smarter to play it when you know that your name's been said.
Yep.
You get rid of it, especially this early on. It's not heightening his threat level. Potentially.
Sure.
Right? Like, it's early enough. Maybe it can be, I just wanted to get rid of it. He can kind of, it can be justified. It's not too far into the end. They still want to work with him.
I would go as far to say that with the information that Ty had, playing it was the right choice at this tribal council. You know, it would have maybe been an undue risk for him to sit on it, knowing that he was getting votes. And, you know, one person who, it was chaotic at Orange Camp before we got there. Like, conversations were happening up to and through the bell, you know, like all it took was one person who said they were going to go on that split on Adam and Sky to not read, you know, to not get the message correctly or to change their mind and put their vote on Ty. And it would have been the right move, right? Mm-hmm. So, again, I think the tactical play, totally defensible. The moment of the play was, you know, all we could have asked for. What was your other highlight moment?
Green winning.
Yeah.
I love how excited they are. It feels like they can exhale. And we're on the back porch, like, watching this happen and just literally gasping every time they throw or launch the slingshot. And it's hard to, this is one that I think we have said outside of this, we wish it was shot a little bit different. Just the cameras could have been placed better. But in real life, I think it's captured on there, but I think there's an element of being there in person for this one where you really see like how close the beanbags are going. Like you can see them getting fatigued or frustrated, and you could see that on there too. But I think it's like when you're really there and in it and feeling it with them, and how much like hope and anticipation they have to not go to tribal. It's just so exciting.
Yeah.
And just so exciting because we've talked about this, but like, what if Green loses? Like, well, that changes the entire potential trajectory of the game as we know how it unfolds. And so it's just so interesting. And I think the episode is so much better, obviously, with how it ended up, because we get to see Orange play for the first time. We get to see them come out of this kumbaya frisbee moment to, you know, actually figure out what the heck is Sky doing and who are we voting for. And
it was so tense. The challenge was so tense, especially from the moment where after Green knocked their couple over there and there was just one on the board for each of them. It's like you're holding your breath the whole time, right? Because it's any one shot is going to end it, you know, and the percent chance of any of those particular shots hitting was low, it turned out. But if it does, it's over, right? I for a moment when it happened and Orange connected there, I thought that they knocked all three of them over at first. And it's like that would have been totally deflating for the Green Tribe to be that close and to blow that lead all at once. There will be certainly countless times that we say some version of that between now and the end of like, you know, butterfly effect. Wow, if this one thing would have gone slightly different, who knows how the rest of the season shakes out differently. You know, it's like that's the nature of a game like this. Like little things here and there over the course of 14 rounds, like who knows how it impacts the way that things end up. But really glad, you know, we'd seen hints at up until this point of like the Orange Tribe unrest starting to percolate. Like Anna talks about how she's running out of things to do and is getting antsy. Like Cody's obviously a big time gamer, as he is, you know, his the cat's kind of out of the bag this episode in that even though he's not targeted, we'll talk about Cody and his play later here, but like he's obviously ready to play, and we saw that play out on the Orange Tribe, and I'm glad we did before, you know, things change next episode, that we got to see this original Orange Tribe go to tribal, and it produced one of the most fun tribals that we had this whole time. And I also do think that this challenge was maybe my favorite challenge. I don't remember all of them. Maybe there's a couple more that I would say are also my favorite, but the energy, I think that the design worked really well. It was a lot of fun.
I have favorites later too, but I think it's more like the story of who wins and like surprises and things like that.
Yeah. Let's kind of work our way through the episode then. And I may ask you more questions than usual just to kind of get your takes on things. But we'll start at Last Chance Island, where this is a mechanic that I was excited about and, you know, wasn't highlighted super heavily in the episode because there was so much else going on at the challenge that we just didn't catch it. But Allie and Jake have a chance to give a note and a bead to a player in the game. If they drop the bead in a bucket at the challenge, it will go to the player at Last Chance Island, and they'll get a bead for their potential idol. Jake sends his to Cody, which is kind of an out of left field choice, but I'm interested in talking about that. And then Allie sends hers to Sam, which in conjunction with what we talked about last time and the beginning of this episode, I think really does kind of solidify the way, like, you know, what Sam is doing at this stage is working, you know, that like, Sam's taking ownership for pulling the strings that got Allie eliminated, and yet she's looking at him as a potential ally when, at least in Sam's mind, he was the one that kind of put the nails in her coffin. So I thought that was interesting. Why do you think Jake would have chosen Cody, given that they aren't on the same tribe? They would have not really talked outside of, Matt chat would have been really the only time he could have heard from him.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to that. So I'm completely making this up,
Yeah.
but my first thought when seeing that he chose Cody was thinking he got an impression from Cody at the Matt chat very first introduction where Cody's saying, I've applied for Survivor 4 times, 3 times, however many times. And that's immediately a trigger. He connected with that and probably said in that moment, like, oh, I want to play with Cody.
Yeah.
Or I need to be aware of Cody. Or whatever the thought was, that stuck with him. And then I think if you think about somebody who's applied for Survivor, or who loves Survivor, you're going to say they're going to do this because they know it.
Yeah, they want a moment.
They want a moment. They're going to be excited to get something and not know what it is. And it's this mystery and, it's something.
Yeah.
And so I think it's, I think he played it right. Like, I think Cody says it, like, he doesn't know what it is. He's excited. He wants to keep it on the down low. Like, especially when they're all bored,
Right.
It added something for Cody to kind of think about and be excited about the potential of an ally on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, and we don't really see it on camera, but they do both put the bead in the bucket as they say that they will do. So we'll see the ramifications of that next time. But yeah, both of them do it. So if either of those players rejoin the game, they'll be one step closer to a fully powered immunity idol when they come with it. I was really stoked for this mechanic. I thought it was fun and cool. Again, it didn't really turn out to be that big of a thing in the grand scheme of this episode, but I thought it was a fun thing and just didn't necessarily have the impact, but that's okay.
And will this be explained later that the third person, so Sky, who gets voted out and goes to Last Chance Island, since she didn't get a chance to give a beat to somebody on another tribe, her string comes
preloaded
with a beat.
Yeah, I think in the note that she reads at the beginning of next episode, it does say that.
Okay, sorry.
But no, that's fine. The crux is if you get 1 bead, it's an idol good for 1 tribal. If you get 2 beads, it's an idol good forever. They'll have a chance to get the second bead back when they re-enter the game. This was the way they got their first one, but since Sky was the third player voted out, she kind of gets a leg up in that. She kind of gets that first bead already.
And
preloaded.
Not that this matters, but I think what I was doing while they were at Tribal. No, it's at the next. Never mind. I was thinking I was placing the beads. I was hiding the beads.
I see.
For the person who comes in to find and complete their idol. But I did that during the next challenge or something.
We didn't do it. Well, it would have been first thing because they re-enter first thing tomorrow, or next episode.
I know, but so I was doing it during the re-entry challenge.
I see. So it was that night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, first thing, kind of alluded to it, but first thing that's going to happen next episode, again, it's spoken about in the next time on segment, but one of these 3 players will re-enter the game. And then it'll be the end of night 1. So jam-packed first day of action. Ty wasn't the only idol thing to happen this episode. Elizabeth also finds the green idol. Unfortunately, there wasn't a camera around to catch it, which is a bummer. We were 0 for 2 on capturing the idols this episode. But Elizabeth, somebody who has already proven to be in an influential spot, now has her hands on an idol as well. And it's the same idea on the green tribe as it was on the orange tribe. We obviously heard a lot more about it there, but just that green block. And it sounds like Elizabeth just kind of stumbled upon it, that she didn't necessarily use clues to get there, which is obviously fair game. But yeah, now Elizabeth, after Ty played his, is the lone idol haver at this point.
Yeah, I think it kind of gets... I'm glad we're talking about it because I think it kind of gets a little forgotten here in this episode because it's so much about Orange.
Right.
But I was personally excited that she found it, and I'm excited to see kind of... I don't get to see everything while we were there, so I'm excited to see, how that affects some other parts of her game, but... Yeah, I'm excited that she found it. I wish we could have seen her taking it off the tree because that had to be so hard. Because it's literally in the middle. It is in the middle
of camp, yeah.
And no, they didn't take any of their blocks off the trees, so it's like lucky for her, it was a little hidden, so maybe nobody would notice that it was gone. But somebody's for sure gonna notice you messing with the tree.
Yeah. It sounds like she got away scot-free. I don't think that anybody clocked it. So
yeah, impressive.
Yep. Okay, cool. Let's talk about the Orange Tribe before the challenge and their games that they made up. I thought this was fun with the frisbees and the tossing the beads into the basket.
Yeah, I had heard about the frisbees, but I didn't see the beads in a basket, like little... What is that, like...
bozo buckets or something?
Yeah. Or
I mean, can you... Yeah.
Cornhole.
You could have made the argument that, like, there's always more game to play, but when you're sitting there alone hours at a time, you've probably laid the groundwork that you need to. But again, evidence of how things took place after they lost that challenge maybe would indicate otherwise, because there was a lot of scrambling going on.
Yeah, well,
a lot of shifting plans.
I do think, though, it's this fear of coming off too strong. There are already players who are kind of getting that.
Yeah, people cite that as a reason that Skye is, like, getting votes. You know?
And that they suspect that she knows more about the game. And it's like, she's probably just bored or having fun or likes to talk. Like, it's something to do.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about the Orange Tribe here before Tribal Council and, the way that the plans kind of were made and evolved. I think, like, I had a lot of fun putting this sequence together because I love those sequences on Survivor, right, where you can kind of clock the evolution of the plans, and I hope that this accomplished something similar where you see it like, okay, it started like, it seemed like it was between Ty and Isaac, and maybe like the women plus Adam and Cody were like kind of making the choice here, and then that kind of morphs into Skye and Adam taking the lead there on Ty, and then meanwhile you've got this counter plan that starts to coalesce. It's not the first plan, right? But it is the one that wins out, of it bouncing back on Skye and Adam. And so yeah, I think but all the while, all of them seem like viable options, at least hopefully to the viewer, so you don't know what exactly is going to happen. And so anyway, I remember going into this tribal being unsure of what was going to happen. I was like, I didn't know. Half the tribe, from my perspective, could have gone home. And so that was fun. Yeah, what was your experience of, seeing these plans change and unfold?
Yeah, I think I obviously knew how it turned out watching the episode, but didn't know about all of these different plans, and I thought it was really interesting to see the scramble.
Yeah.
And, try to see who is the person who is swaying. And I think at the end, maybe I kind of walk away seeing that, you know, they didn't figure out the numbers quite right, or they didn't think through it tying,
I think it was on purpose.
and they wanted to revote.
Yeah. Yeah, you split the vote on Adam and Sky so that if one of them has an idol, they play it. And if, Sky plays the idol, then Adam goes home.
Right,
If
but
neither
I think,
of them play the idol, then you revote and you just vote out your preference.
I get that, but
Sure.
like, I don't think they thought that they had an idol, but it's just like,
It was like cover your ass sort of thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was like real concern that Sky had something. Like that was something that Cody really had stuck in his head, that
okay.
that Sky had an idol. Maybe Anna subscribed to that as well, but
Yeah, I was kind of just thinking that, but I think, yeah, there's like this moment where they're saying Ty, they're saying Cody, and I think again it's like Sky just kind of like,
yeah,
this person, this person, this person,
just doing stuff.
yeah, and it's interesting. I think one memorable moment for me in that scramble is Sky going up to Emily and saying, vote Ty.
Yeah.
I'm voting Ty, they're voting Ty,
Yeah.
whatever she says in that moment. And I know watching it that Emily has this outside relationship, like,
Yeah.
Knows Ty
Yeah.
in the real world. And so I'm thinking as I'm watching it, like, she's not going to vote Ty.
Right.
But you're like, as you're watching it, you're like, is Sky in that position? Like, can she, is the Women's Alliance happening? Like,
Yeah.
are the women voting together? Like, and you go into Tribal kind of not knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so I think it's fun. It does feel exciting to watch, and then love that it does end up in a tie, because then you're like, okay, is it going to be Adam or Sky?
Right.
And yeah, and then at the end, I think I'm just rambling, but it's like at the end you see how like just Adam's thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It just like pans on Adam, just
Yeah.
like,
you can see it hit him.
Yeah.
Where he's like, shit, I was like blindsided here too. Like I'm at the bottom of the numbers here.
right. And then it's, now what?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think Sky's primary downfall here was and Hannah says this in her confessional of like, she was everywhere. Like she's
a loose cannon.
Was too clearly talking to everyone in a way that everybody could come together then and say like, what's Sky telling you? What's Sky telling you? And it kind of, blew up on her here, which not the first person in the world of these sorts of games for that to happen to by any means. But yeah, she certainly would have been better served. And, there's nothing wrong with taking lead on a vote. Like, obviously you have to do that from time to time. But yeah, maybe a little bit too heavy of a hand. And, I find it really interesting the way that there was so much like skepticism or like fear about her. Like I think again, like Cody probably drove most of this. And yeah, it's like she knows more than she's letting on, or like she's really dangerous. When in reality, we know as the viewer, based on what we see in confessional and stuff, more than the players know. And what we know is that Sky really is like a newcomer to this sort of thing and doesn't really know what she's doing and is figuring it out on the fly. And she's doing a good job of it, but she's not some like, secret undercover mastermind.
Well, and I think Cody like mishears her or
I don't know.
Or something, because he says, well, then she told me that she does love, and I'm sure she just said, I love games.
Yeah, or even like, I've seen some of the shows or whatever, like, because she doesn't want to, ostracize herself in the other direction too.
Right, and be like, I don't know anything.
Right.
I think something that I was surprised by, and I don't think there's a shot of this, but is, the guys saying that Anna told them that there was maybe a girl alliance, or Sky wanted a girls alliance, and I think that kind of steers, this view on Skye
Sure.
of, oh yeah, she has this plan, and she's really tight with Adam, and she's come to talk to me,
Yeah.
and you know, I think in that case it's like the alliance, girls alliance, that's like, oh, there's gameplay, you know, and so
Yeah.
I'm curious, you know, and maybe she just felt like she was in a corner and just was like, I have to give somebody something, and she's gonna pull this girls alliance that she in the last episode pointed to being not good, having
Yeah.
red flags. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
this
Anna.
isn't gonna be a thing anyways.
Yeah.
So Anna's like, okay, I can just give this up.
Yeah.
Because it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's a good point. Like that's the bit of information that she's gonna give to like gain the trust of the other people, you mean?
Yeah. But I think at first I just maybe talked that through, but at first I was kind of surprised that she did give that up. But it wasn't gonna serve her.
Yeah, it's unfortunately a miscalculation, yeah, because what was clear from from us as a viewer is that Hannah's primary loyalty or interest in working is with Cody and Isaac, who are not women. And Emily is friends with Ty, who's not a woman. And so there's half of your women's alliance who want to work with some of the men, right?
Yeah.
So
And then Anna's hearing your woman alliance and saying,
yeah, red
flags.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to talk about so before I transition out of this, I guess I think and I wonder if Adam learns from this in that, because he clearly has the strategy of, I'm gonna let Skye do the dirty work here, like she's running around whipping things up and being at the forefront and the focal point of it. He gets to hang back and if it works out, gain the benefit of that without being the one that people then look at as like the betrayer. But I wonder if he would have been better served stepping in a little bit more here, offering maybe a calmer, more nuanced, strategic perspective. Because it seemed like Skye really was doing like 80-20 of the work here, right? And so in order for not saying that Adam should have turned on Skye by any means, but rather if this plan were to have worked, I wonder if he feels the same way, that he should have taken a little bit more hands-on of an approach when talking with some of the, maybe, like Hannah and Isaac and Ty in particular, like some of those people that needed to be on board.
Yeah. Like smoothing out the edges as Skye goes around.
Right. The Carolyn to her Tony.
I was going to say it was
Or not
Cass.
Carolyn, the Trish.
Trish. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Trish. I was like, it's not Cass. Yeah.
For $1 million.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Yes.
I also want to talk about Cody and Hannah here, because they're also a big focal point of this vote, in that it, again, is really clear that they're doing the heavy lifting on the plan that does win out. It's like, and really, unfortunately for them, people are clocking it, but it's because they're right in clocking it, because they're doing a really good job of like convincing people and approaching people with a plan in an effective way. Like obviously they get people on board, and Adam and Skye namely are like, they're gonna be a problem. Like they're really good at this. I think in particular, like Hannah's scene with Ty, where she's like bringing him on board and basically like giving him the opportunity to like say yes rather than, hey, this is what's happening, which is a direct contrast again to what Skye did, which is telling people this is what's happening.
Yeah, you're either with me or you're against me.
And Hannah's like,
a little more
here's
nuanced.
the thing, do you want to be a part of it? Obviously from a human perspective, you would prefer to opt in. And Cody, like the way that he's, tailoring his conversations to like when he's talking to Anna versus when he's talking to Ty, like just really masterful. Like Cody's really good at talking to people in a way that, you know, gets to their level and like is telling them what they want to hear. And he's, I think, making correct reads, except for Sky, that for some reason he's really overblown about. But again, for the number one thing we hear from Orange Tribe this episode is like Sky's running around like crazy. She's got tons of plans. The second thing is Cody's a problem. And while he's not, you know, receiving votes now, it appears that he's been clocked.
Mm-hmm. And I think like most of the times on Survivor, I think it's so dumb when they hide their professions, because it's like, I'm a newscaster and I can't let them know that I know how to talk to people on TV.
Yeah, like
it means nothing.
Right.
Or most times it's like therapists don't lie that they're therapists, I don't think. But in this case, anyways, I bring that up to say, I think what you're talking about with Cody is like his day-to-day job. He's able to read people. He's able to level with them. He's able to, you know, create a safe space where they feel comfortable with him. And that's kind of his little, like, his secret weapon, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Sky is just, she doesn't even know what she wants or what she's doing. Sure. And so it's maybe she's a little harder to read.
Yeah.
And he maybe heard something wrong or heard something from somebody else and is like, okay, now I'm going to, you know, and he's making his moves and he's, you know, there's not a ton of time. We do give Orange quite a bit of time after that challenge to have discussions because it's, you know.
Right. Their first time.
But in the grand scheme of how much time they probably wanted.
Yeah.
They probably felt like it was very quick and very short.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Daylight was running
sure.
out. You can tell in Tribal, like from first vote to second vote.
Yeah.
How dark it gets.
In so little time.
Yeah. And so, anyways, I think it's interesting. I think it's maybe a time where I'm like, oh wow, somebody actual day-to-day life profession, like being influential.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. To
like his skill set that he takes into work.
Sure. Yeah.
Or also maybe he's just like, you know, he's good at reading people.
Yeah. Could, you know, which came first, you know, the chicken or the egg, the therapist or the being a good read, you know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I know. That's why.
I'm just kidding.
Literally, that's what the chicken or the egg
I mean,
means.
Maybe Cody. We could have Cody come on and tell us about his story.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can tell people that starting next episode, the hope for these recap pods is to have the eliminated player join us on that episode for a segment. So we haven't done it until now because of Last Chance Island. Nobody's really truly eliminated yet. So, but starting next episode, we might be doing that. Okay, so then Tribal Council, you get the vote. We've talked about it already, but 3-3-2. The two votes on tie are Adam and Sky. Everybody else is a part of that split, voting for Adam and Sky. And then on the revote, they're all on Sky. Yeah, I think we've unpacked all of that pretty well from that stage. Okay, let's go to Players of the Week, where we each award a Player of the Week based on their gameplay this episode. Just, you know, to refresh everyone's memory, in episode 1, I gave my Player of the Week to Sam. Jen gave hers to Abby. In episode 2, no, that was episode 2. In episode 1, I gave mine to Elizabeth. Jen gave hers to Ty. And so, what about episode 3, Jen? Who gets your Player of the Week award?
This one feels harder for me.
It is tough.
And I think
I have a short list, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah, so maybe this will just be a verbal process here. I think the initial gut reaction or thought initially, but this just is kind of thinking Elizabeth for finding the idol.
Interesting.
Which is interesting because it's a blip.
Yep.
Next thought is Ty.
We can give an honorable mention to the entire Green Tribe who wins a challenge.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've been trying not to say this, but I was just really rooting hard for Green.
Yeah, I was too. Like, I wanted to see the other group go to Tribal.
Yeah. Well, I think also, too, personally, I knew a lot more people on Green.
Sure.
And so, yeah, really rooting for Green to, like, make it. Really love Elizabeth, so I was like, yes, get it. You got the idol. Love that. But I guess probably it makes more sense to say Ty.
Sure. I mean, do whatever you want.
I know. I think, yeah, maybe I'll say Ty.
Yeah.
My least favorite player of the week is Adam this week.
Because of the fish comment?
Because of the poorly drawn fish comment. He didn't even know what he was doing, but I think if he knew what he was doing, he would still do it. And that's the problem. And I was going to say earlier, I was going to do another dig at Adam, but that's it. That's it. I was going to say, does Adam learn?
Yeah.
You know? No, he's just having a good time.
He is.
And so I guess I'd say Ty.
Yeah.
I think I loved seeing the full kind of arc of the idol and getting to play it and the reactions.
Yep.
Really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, Ty was on my short list. Again, I think the choice to play the idol was tactically correct, even if results-wise it wasn't. I also think, we didn't talk about this, but like his response to being one of those early names on the docket and, you know, still receiving votes at the end of the day, like, was well done. He didn't flip out. He didn't start going crazy and scrambling. He kind of let things come to him, which worked. I think there's a way that this goes where, you know, somebody may hear their name and they may start like scrambling so hard that it only digs themselves a deeper grave.
Well, and he doesn't scramble because he has the idol.
He has the idol, but, you know, even so, you would prefer to not use it, right? So, like,
Yeah.
I think he gets good information from Emily. I don't know if that makes air or not. I think there's this weird thing that happened at camp this episode where I was getting, like, 2 feeds from 2 different mics, but on one camera, and so I had a clip where, like, you can hear Emily feeding Ty information about Adam and Sky's plan, but we're like looking at Cody and Hannah or something, and so it's like not usable. But anyway, he gets the information, he like goes along with the plan. I think Ty's a good pick here.
Thank you. I feel like I know who you're gonna pick.
Who do you think?
I think you're gonna go for like a Cody or Hannah for the gameplay and how they really brought it together.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Hannah. I think that she and Cody are kind of a duo here, and each having different conversations with different people, and so, you know, could give it to them as a tandem. I think like Cody's instrumental in getting Ty on board. Or, no, not Ty. They're both great for Ty. Like, Cody has a good conversation with Ty. Hannah has a good conversation with Ty. Hannah's like working Emily. Cody's working Anna. So anyway, I think I lean Hannah here though, because of the things we've talked about before. Like, people are, I think Cody's threat level was raised higher than Hannah's as a result of this. People are wary of the both of them, but I think that Cody probably is higher on people's, you know, threat level list after this episode than Hannah is. I could deduct points from Hannah for unknowingly throwing the idol on the ground for Ty to pick up, but
if Hannah was here, she'd say, okay.
Yeah.
I can hear her say that.
Right. So I'm going to give it to Hannah, and then Hannah also named the episode this week, so, you know, banner week for Hannah.
I do have a side comment, just out of curiosity. I know that the answer, a potential answer will hurt my feelings. From those listening, which I assume are just mostly the players.
Yeah, it's a safe assumption.
Is it more of an honor to be named Player of the Week by me or by Alex?
Yeah, great question.
I feel like I'm here for the vibes, for, you know, who makes me happy made me laugh, made me cry.
I think I would have picked Ty if you didn't pick Ty. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, feel good about yourself, Ty and Hannah.
Yeah.
And everyone else who we've named so far.
Yeah, drop in the cast Discord who you would rather get a Player of the Week award for.
And just remember who fed you, who brought you snacks.
Yeah, and remember who brought your dreams to life.
It's still me. I greenlighted this whole thing.
Remember who snuffed all but 3 of your torches.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, well, that's going to do it, as we once again have eclipsed the length of the episode with our recap show. Thank you for listening, and as always, make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel or following the mailing list to get notifications for new episodes. We'll be back after episode 4, which will be in a week from today, most likely. Again, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.